Hi, everyone, and welcome to Read Pop Metaverse Ask Ashley. I'm going to be your host for this question and answer session with Ashley Eckstein. My name is Bret Iwan, and if you don't know who I am, you might know the character I play, Mickey Mouse. So without further ado, let's bring in one of my best friends, the voice of Ashoka Tano, Ashley Eckstein. Ashley?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm great. It's so good to see your face. We haven't been able to see each other in person since March, I think, February, March.
I know. I miss you. And, since we can't be together, I keep my Ahsoka and Mickey by me at all times, because we have many adventures to go on together if we can't in person right now.
That's, it's the next best thing. And we had so many adventures planned for this year. Unfortunately, a lot of them have been, we've been stuck doing them virtually, but you know what? I just am happy to see your face, so I will take that.
And, I know, me too.
And for the record, I also have an Ahsoka and a Mickey doll, but they sit in my recording booth, which I just left before coming into my office here to host this Q&A. So I didn't bring them with me, but I'm glad you have yours. Mine are with us in spirit. So we've got an exciting panel lined up. We've got questions that have been submitted for you, everything from her universe to Star Wars to your love of Disney. So without further ado, what do you say we start with the questions?
I'm looking forward to it. But, I have to tell you, when they first asked me to do this panel, I was so excited because have you seen, it was on Nickelodeon, on All That, Amanda Bynes did a sketch called Ask Ashley. And she would read letters. They would say, "Dear Ashley," and she'd read a letter, and then she would say, "That's me." And I always loved that sketch because my name was Ashley, and I would sit on my bed just like she would, and I would do that sketch. So I feel like I'm like reliving a childhood dream right now.
It's a dream come true is what's happening right now.
Yes.
And I'm very aware of that bit. And had I known you were going to do this, I would have brought my computer into my bed. But unlike you, mine's not made. So I'm glad that I'm here in my office so that nobody has to see my messy sheets.
Well, it's all good. My mom helped me make this.
I was going to say she must have, because I know you all too well and you don't have a bed made like that all the time. So
I'm usually pretty messy.
Thank you, Mom, for all of us in the fan community. And with that, thanks to all the moms out there everywhere, let's get into our first question and see what's in store for us for the rest of this panel.
Hi there, Ashley. My name's Emma. And my question for you is, what was it like founding her universe back in a time when fashion for fangirls kind of didn't exist? On top of that, do you have any advice for women about to start their careers? Thank you so much.
Oh, well, thank you so much for your questions, Emma. And I love the Tano jersey.
I was going to give a shout out to that because clearly she is a fangirl with good taste and good style.
Yes, definitely. Thank you for the Her Universe love there. Those are some heavy hitter questions right up at the beginning. So thank you so much. I first had the idea for Her Universe back in 2009, and I was the voice of Ahsoka and a big Star Wars fan, and I wanted Star Wars clothes made for me. And I did what any girl would do at the time. I went shopping, for Star Wars clothes, and quickly came up empty-handed. And I was told that women and girls would not buy Star Wars merchandise made for them, and that I should be happy with a men's size small. And I couldn't believe that because I knew that I wasn't alone. And so I did my research. I found out that 45% of all sci-fi and fantasy fans at the time were women and girls. And I found out that 85% of all consumer purchases were being made by women. And I thought, these numbers are not adding up. If you make stuff for us, we will buy it. But, I had this idea about Her Universe, but it was very daunting because there was no other company like it. And, everyone that I would talk to about it would tell me like, "Oh, that won't work," or, "That'll never be successful." Or I had another company say, flat out, they said, oh, well, we thought about making Star Wars merchandise for fangirls, but, they won't buy anything. And so it was kind of overwhelming to say, okay, I'm going to start a company for something that people say will not be successful. It was definitely scary, but I read story after story of women and girls being bullied for just being a fangirl. And that's truly what inspired me to kind of get over that fear, because I said something's got to change. Women and girls should not be bullied for being fangirls, because these stories that we love are for everyone. Star Wars is not just a story for men and boys. It's not just a story for women and girls. It's a story for everyone. And so I thought, okay, well, something's got to change. And I actually asked myself, I said, what would Ahsoka do? And my answer was that Ahsoka would stand up for fangirls. And so I founded her universe. But it was incredibly daunting because everyone around me was telling me that it wasn't going to work. So instead of focusing on kind of like the end goal and the bigger picture of like, how am I going to build this company and sell my merchandise in stores, I would kind of wake up each day and break the bigger end goal into smaller goals. And I would say, okay, what's one thing that I can do today that I can easily achieve? Whether it be today I'm going to set up my company Facebook page, or today I'm going to design one t-shirt. I would break it down into smaller goals. And eventually, as I would achieve those small goals, a bunch of small goals get you closer to your end goal, to your big goal. And that would be, a piece of advice I have for anyone that is looking to start their own company or go, or really not even start their own company, to anyone that's trying to achieve their own dream. Mm-hmm. Is, identify what your dream is. You have to know what you want, but then back up and break it down into much smaller steps, because small steps eventually get you to your end goal. And that worked for me. If I only focused on the end goal, to be honest, I think I would have been paralyzed in fear. And it really worked for me to break it down into small steps.
I think that's great advice. And as you know, we're both big dreamers, and can sometimes, I think it's very easy to get distracted by that end goal and just be so anxious and excited to see it, that you can lose sight of all the pieces that have to fall into place before. So I think it's really wise and thoughtful of you to suggest, the step by step and the day by day and tackling things as they come. It's a great reminder. It's a really great reminder, because you have to have those building blocks, right? Like passion requires hard work as well.
Yeah, and you know what? Somebody once gave me a piece of advice. They said, it's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
And I think when it comes to dreams, I actually, this, I hate the phrase overnight success, because no one is really an overnight success. Behind every overnight success story is a story of somebody that worked incredibly hard to get there. Yeah. And achieving your dream is like you're running a marathon. So many people want to run a sprint and just get to the end goal, but it just doesn't work that way. No. You're running a marathon, and it's a much slower a much slower pace, but slow and steady wins the race.
Absolutely. And it's not always as exciting as it's portrayed in, reality TV or movies or whatever, where there's this instant gratification culture that exists, right? But I think it's really, you're right. There is no overnight success, because, any successful person, creative or otherwise, will tell you, like, they're thinking about that stuff for years, and it's consuming their thought process day and night, and so it really is, it's having that stamina, like you mentioned. It's the stamina, and it's the ability to take it one step at a time. So I love that answer. I think that's great advice. Okay, should we go to the next question? We're off to a great start. Let's see what's next.
Hi Ashley, it's Alex here from the UK, and I've got a question for you. I know you're a really big Disney fan, and I also know you go to Disney World quite a lot. I was wondering, what's your favourite ride at Disney World? For me, it is definitely Big Thunder Mountain.
Okay, well, I love her choice because, as you know, I love trains, and so that attraction is top of my list. But this isn't about me; it's about you, Ashley. Because this is ask Ashley. That's kind of hard to say.
It is kind of hard to say, but then I gotta follow it up with "That's me." Okay, people that have not seen Amanda Bynes' sketch, they're gonna be like, "Why?"
It's okay if they haven't seen it, then it's your thing now.
Yes. Okay. Well, please Google it. If you guys have not seen Amanda Bynes' sketch, Ask Ashley, Google it. Then you'll know what I'm talking about. But Alex, thank you so much for asking this fun question. Love the Tano jersey. Emma had one as well prior to this, and the Ahsoka ears. And I love that you're from the UK. I'm a big fan of the UK as well. But Bret, I love that we're, doing this together because I love nothing more than getting to go on a Disney day with you.
I know.
We've done Disney World and Disneyland. Right. And I was actually just at Disney World this week, and I went to the Magic Kingdom and I rode my favorite ride, which, Alex, it's the same as yours. My favorite ride is Big Thunder Mountain. It always has been ever since I was a little kid. And oh my gosh, I've only rode Big Thunder Mountain at Magic Kingdom, Disneyland, and Tokyo Disneyland. So are there any more?
I was going to say, is there one in Paris? You need to go to...
You need to go to that one.
Wait, is there one in Paris? Oh, God.
I don't know. How do we not know this, Bret?
I don't know. How do we not know this? I'm really ashamed now. But
I know. Well, Bret, as the official voice of Mickey Mouse, you have to answer what is your favorite ride?
Well, that's always a tricky question for me because, like I mentioned, I'm a huge train fan, as you can see behind me or over here. Almost reversed. I have trains everywhere. I love trains, and so my basic answer is I love the Disneyland Railroad or the Walt Disney World Railroad. But when it comes to specific attractions, it's a tie for me between Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion, because to me, those rides are quintessential Disney magic, Disney storytelling at its best. They're immersive, they're original, and they got great music to go along with it. So, whenever I'm missing the parks, which has been happening a lot lately for a lot of us, I put on those soundtracks and just kind of go through a little musical journey of those two rides and pretend that I'm there. So, yeah. Now I know, okay, Ashley, I'm going to tangent off of this question. And I know that you also have other types of favorite things when it comes to Disney parks, one of which being food. I know you are a big foodie when it comes to the parks. So I want to know, what is your favorite treat in all of Walt Disney World?
So you are correct. I love Disney food. I'm always, excited to try the new things. But this is a two-part answer, and you know this about me, because nothing beats a churro. I love just a plain churro.
Okay, I gotta stop you there. Remember that one time we got churros and they were really disappointing, though?
Well, they were disappointing because Disneyland has way better churros than Disney World now.
Yeah, and not to throw that experience under the bus, but I just remember we were both so looking forward to that churro.
I know.
And we got it and we're like,
I know. Save the churros, Disney.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to take it down. Let's stay in positive, uplifting space. Way to go. Sorry, everybody.
But I highly recommend getting the churros at Disneyland.
Yes.
But maybe, I'll break it apart in two parts. My favorite Disneyland treat is the churro. But my favorite Disney World treat is, it's kind of a hidden Mickey, per se.
Oh.
It's hidden in Epcot in the Japanese pavilion, and it is called a kakigori. And it's,
Ah,
yes, it's a snow cone. So they call snow cones kakigoris in Japan, and they are so good. They have honeydew flavor, which is like a melon flavor. They have tangerine, cherry, um, and one other flavor. But I don't know how to describe it. It's literally the best Disney treat. So I highly recommend it. Go to Epcot, Japanese Pavilion, get the kakigoris.
I'm listening to your answer and acting as though it's news to me, but it's not, because on our last Disney World trip, you introduced me to the kakigori. You introduced a lot of people to it, actually, at the influencers event we were at. But I can attest that they are truly as good as Ashley claims they are. So
Yes, I try to tell everyone. I know. I mean, if Disney sees a spike in kakigori sales, it is because I am telling everyone that they have to try them.
it's only fair that they name one after you at that point.
I mean, I would be okay
Well,
with that.
We'll make a call. Okay. So 2 questions down, 11 more to go. So let's go. Let's hear the next one.
Hi, Ashley. My name is Conrad. I have a question for you. What is something you've always wanted to do on your bucket list? I'm also a really huge fan.
Bucket list. All right.
Oh, these are some hard questions today. Well, thank you so much for asking. Um, Something I've always wanted to do on my bucket list. Oh, Brett, this is a hard one.
Yeah.
Well,
It doesn't have to be big, though. It could be small. Bucket list items, have a full range.
that is true. That is true. Well, I guess I should say I used growing up as a kid, I always wanted to be the voice of a Disney character. And that was literally like bucket list level for me. Like I wanted to be the voice of a Disney princess. Now, when I became the voice of Ahsoka, that was prior to Disney buying Star Wars. So that, I wasn't the voice of a Disney character at that point. And then when Disney bought Star Wars and Ahsoka officially became, a part of the Disney family, and then went on, we did Star Wars Rebels, and then now the new season of Clone Wars. I guess you could say that it's a bucket list dream fulfilled, come true. So, I think there is one bucket list dream that since you and I are doing this together, we can both talk about.
That's right.
We both had the same dream. We wanted to be Mouseketeers on the Mickey Mouse Club. That was the dream that got away.
So it's gotten away so far.
So far. So
Yeah.
I guess we could say that maybe, we did start a hashtag Mickey Mouse Club, because we figured if we missed out on it, we would just start our own club.
Again, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah. So there you go. Maybe the revised bucket list dreams, since, I've gotten to be the voice of a Disney character, is we're somehow going to have our own Mickey Mouse Club, Brett.
Yeah, that we're gonna join the club at a different level and get to participate with that whole kind of variety show aspect that I think we love so much as kids growing up.
Yes.
That's a good bucket list item. I like that.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to question number 4. Is that where we're at now? 4. Yeah.
Hi, Ashley. I was hoping to one day get into the voice acting industry, and I was just wondering how you got into it.
A good question that I know you get a lot.
Yes.
But yeah, let's hear it.
Well, and I think this is fun that, again, the two of us are doing this together, because we both have very different journeys to becoming voice actors. And I think that is really the answer, is that there's no one way to become a voice actor. There's no, one journey or one straight path that everyone takes. Everyone's path is different. And, it's kind of, what you make of it. For me, growing up, I knew I wanted to be an actress pretty much from the age of 12. I started doing theater, and eventually when I was old enough, I was 19, I moved to LA and pursued film and television. So I mostly did on camera work. I got to be a character on That's So Raven. Her name was Muffy. She was one of the mean girls. She wasn't very nice. She was like, Alana said that she likes Repop Metaverse. Um,
Wait a second. That's how you talk to me all the time.
well, you know,
So that was a mean girl thing. Okay. Anyway, I digress.
When you know you need to get what you want. Uh, but yeah, so I mostly did film and television, but again, it was my dream to one day maybe be the voice of a Disney character. And so I did have an agent, and I asked my agent if they would start sending me out on voiceover auditions. And luckily they agreed, but it was not an easy road. I actually auditioned for 4 years, which was probably about 400 auditions. Um, and I was rejected. I mean, it was like 4 years of rejection, and it was hard. It was a lot of getting very, very close sometimes, and then not getting the part. But thankfully, I didn't give up, because 4 years later, I was eventually cast as the voice of Ahsoka. But I think the biggest thing with voice acting that I would give this advice to anyone who wants to be a voice actor is voice acting is acting. It's not a different kind of acting. Acting is acting. So whether you're doing it through voice acting, or whether you're doing it on stage, or whether you're doing it, in front of a camera, it's still acting. Now, the techniques are different. The technique of voice acting is very different than the technique of, television. But at its core, it's still acting. So anyone that wants to be a voice actor, the first thing I ask is, are you taking acting lessons? Are you auditioning for plays? Are you, doing any sort of acting? Because that is the first step in becoming a voice actor. Now, Bret, I know you had a very different path. Any, quick advice you would give on how to become a voice actor?
Yeah, I think you hit it on the head to begin with your answer, that there is no one way of going about this journey, or any career or creative pursuit, actually. But yeah, my story is totally different in that I had never pursued acting professionally. I did it in high school, and, I had my little acting gene amongst friends, but it was never anything I had planned to pursue professionally. The audition came across my path. I took advantage of it and landed this gig voicing Mickey Mouse. So, I guess one piece of advice is just be open to any and all possibilities. But specifically when it comes to voice acting, a lot of people, I think it was really wise of you to mention the acting aspect, because as our friend Bill Farmer, who's the voice of Goofy, will say, it's not voice acting, it's voice acting. And a lot of people make the mistake of thinking, I do funny voices, or I can do an impression. And yeah, that skill set can come into play eventually. But, I think people are surprised to hear from me, a guy who voices Mickey, which is definitely a trick voice. I don't sound anything like Mickey. I have to change my voice to sound like Mickey Mouse. But to hear somebody who does that say, it's not about making a noise, it's about the acting behind the character. For me, it's about knowing what Mickey thinks and feels and how he'll react, knowing his past and his journey. And all of that is acting, right? That's all things we use to inform our performances. So I think, yeah, that wasn't a quick response, but my one piece that I'll add to that is, I'll double down on your pursuit of acting, and then also say, really just focus on a breadth of acting and of performances, and allow yourself to develop characters, and don't focus so much on emulating something that's been done, and focus more on the craft of acting, and see what can come out of that and what you can create based on that process.
Great advice.
Oh yeah, it's my turn to get to the next question. I was waiting for somebody else to say. And the next question is, That's my job. So let's go to the next question.
Hi, I'm just wondering, how do you prepare for the role of Ahsoka? And what is your favourite line of hers? Sending love and support from the UK.
Oh.
I love all these UK questions because Ashley's not lying. She's a huge fan of the UK. So, and we were supposed to go there this year.
I know. Hopefully
okay.
in 2021, we
Yeah.
are really, really hoping to go. But I am definitely loving all the love from the UK. So how I get into character as Ahsoka, um, the funny thing is, and one thing I'm so grateful for, is I had the opportunity to help create Ahsoka, to help originate this character. And what some people don't realize is a huge the part of the reason I was cast is because of my own personality. So when I auditioned for Ahsoka and when I was called back for Ahsoka, um, Ahsoka was originally supposed to have an Icelandic accent. And I could not do an Icelandic accent. Don't ask me to do it because I couldn't remember it to this day. But I wasn't very good at the Icelandic accent, and I was getting very frustrated with myself in between takes. And they could see me and hear me get frustrated with myself that I couldn't achieve this Icelandic sound. Well, at the time, it was so similar to Ahsoka because Ahsoka, was a 14-year-old Padawan, that she was trying so hard to, just be the best Padawan to Anakin Skywalker that she could be. And, she'd get really frustrated with herself when she would mess up, or, she'd get really down on herself. And when I got the part, to be honest, I was really surprised because my audition was pretty terrible because I couldn't do the Icelandic accent. And they said, no, we just want you to, use your own voice, and we want you to be yourself. And when I, came in and did the first, couple of episodes, Dave Filoni would often ask me, he would say, well, Ashley, Ahsoka is this new character. We don't quite know how we want her to sound yet. And we want her to be snippy, but we don't want her to be bratty. So, he would ask me, he's like, well, how would you say it? Because he goes, I feel like you would say it the right way. Or he would say, how would you be sarcastic? Because Ahsoka was pretty snippy. So I got to give a lot of input that way, in just kind of bring a lot of my own personality to the character and how I would naturally say things. So it's pretty easy for me to get into character because, quite honestly, it's and Bret, this, it's kind of me. And so over time, I've naturally been able to fall into it. Now, obviously, Ahsoka's grown a lot over the years. But oddly enough, I've grown with her. I feel like I've grown up with this character. So a lot of the emotions that Ahsoka even feels now, I'm almost the same age as Ahsoka. I've been through similar experiences and have similar emotions. So it's quite interesting because I feel like Ahsoka is literally a part of my heart and soul, and I relate to her so much. So it is a character now that I can just fall into. In terms of favorite quotes by Ahsoka, I do love saying, I'm no Jedi. I feel like I said it tougher in the episode. I did just there.
It's okay. We don't need you to go through a recording session. It sounded wonderful.
But I do also love when Ahsoka tells Ezra Bridger, it's a new day, a new beginning. And I think of that often, especially with what's going on right now. I think we all feel like every single day is while it can also be Groundhog's Day, it's things are changing around us. Yeah. And, we can't really worry about the future because clearly the future keeps changing. We also can't change the past. The gift we have is today. And, every day when I wake up, I do often think of that quote it's a new day, a new beginning. And I think, okay, well, today's a gift. What am I going to do with today?
Yeah, that's great advice, and you're absolutely right. I think the power of you playing Ahsoka, and the reason why so many people are such a fan of you being behind that voice, is because you do embody a lot of her characteristics, and that positive message being one of them. So, thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you. I feel so honored to be the voice of Ahsoka, that it's, Bret, it's an honor I don't take lightly, and I I want to be a real life Ahsoka Tano. I
Yeah.
want to, kind of a reflection of her day in and day out.
Well, you are. I can attest to that.
Thank you.
All right, let's get to the next question. Let's see what they have in store for you.
Hi, before I begin, I just want to say, big fan, Ashley. Love Ahsoka. She's my favorite character, and I just love what you've done with this community in Star Wars. Just make it a more positive and better place for everyone to be in. And yeah, so just thank you for everything, and I hope to see more Ahsoka in the future. So my question would probably be, what was it like coming back for Clone Wars Season 7 and seeing, Matt Lanter and James Arnold Taylor again? And yeah, so that'd probably be it. Thank you if you take this question, and I hope to see more Ahsoka in the future.
That's so sweet. And he's right. This is the first time we've had you do a Q&A since Clone Wars came back, right?
Yeah. This is my first kind of live Q&A post Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So I can talk about all the things, whereas before I couldn't talk about it. First of all, thank you for your kind words, and thank you for just being a fan of the show and being a fan of Ahsoka, and thank you for your question. It was such a gift to come back for Clone Wars Season 7. Everyone knows by now, Clone Wars originally was canceled after Season 5, and it was a surprise to all of us. We were not expecting it. We were definitely sad by it. And I think for me, I just, with Disney buying Star Wars and all of the changes that happened, I'm a very positive person. I almost believe that anything is possible. And Bret, that the impossible is possible.
Yeah.
But Clone Wars coming back is the one thing that I said would never happen.
Mm.
And I think that was partially because I was like protecting my heart. Like I didn't want to get my hopes up, and then it never happened. And so I kind of took Clone Wars and I put it into a little chamber in my heart, and I shut the door, locked the door, and threw away the key and said, okay, I'm not going to get hurt anymore. I'm going to protect this. So when they said that Clone Wars was coming back, I was just as shocked as everyone else. I literally couldn't believe it. And, I truly thank the fans, because the fans never gave up. I mean, you guys, were relentless day in and day out. # Save the Clone Wars on Twitter. And I'm so thankful, because it truly, that worked. Disney saw that, Lucasfilm saw that, and they saw that the fans were not going to give up until this show came back. So when it came back, I think we all looked at it as such a gift. We never got to say goodbye before. We never had that last episode where we could walk into the studio and know that that was the last episode and just kind of enjoy it and relish in it. And so when Season 7 came back and we knew that it was the final season, we enjoyed every moment. Literally, we didn't let a single moment pass by without just cherishing it. And, when Matt would come into the recording studio, and James and Kat, and we all got to be together again as a cast. Oh my gosh, we took pictures, we laughed, we cried, we signed each other's scripts. We really are family. We're just as close as it appears to be, if not closer. We're always there for each other. And so it was really special. It was really special to come back. And I forget if there was a part 2 to that question, because I was just rambling.
I think you got it. I think
Okay.
it was asking about what it was like to see everybody and be back with the team. The power of working as a team, right?
Yeah. It's that's one of my favorite things. And Bret, I know you know this as well. Getting to work with a cast, you really do become family. And that's one of my favorite things about doing a show, is getting to work with a cast. And, we all truly love each other and care about each other. I mean, just like Anakin, or just like Ahsoka looks up to Anakin as, a brother, I look at Matt Lanter like a brother. So, and James Arnold Taylor and everything. So, yeah, it's truly a family, and hopefully, we'll all get to work together again someday. This is not a spoiler, because we are not together. But if Clone Wars came back and the impossible became possible, well, you never know. Maybe it can happen.
Or maybe it'll be something completely different. Who knows?
That would be awesome too.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got next.
Hi, I'm Ella, and my question for Ashley is, what was your favorite moment during the filming of the Clone Wars?
Oh.
Do you have a favorite moment? I mean, that's going to be hard to pinpoint one specific time out of all those episodes.
It's really hard. And Ella, thank you so much for your question. I actually love the name Ella. It's one of my favorite names.
Beautiful name.
I know it is. But oh gosh, that is almost impossible to pick just one, because I've actually been recording the voice of Ahsoka since 2006. So what a lot of people don't realize is that we recorded the entire first season of Clone Wars before it ever came out. So we were working on season 2 before, anyone had ever seen the movie. So there's a lot of memories, a lot of moments. I would say one of my favorites. Oh my gosh. I'm literally stumped on this. You know what? Okay. I do have a moment. When it was actually San Diego Comic-Con, when we were announcing that Star Wars: The Clone Wars was coming back for a final season. And we had known about it. So that was in July. I had found out in January. So it was a hard secret to keep from January until July.
Yeah, 7 months of that? Come on.
Okay. You're good at math in your head, by the way.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm not good with secrets, though, so I would not have been able to do that.
But we were so scared that the secret would get out. We did not want the secret to get out. We wanted to surprise the fans. And so as San Diego Comic-Con got closer and closer, we got more and more nervous, because we're like, oh my gosh, this is going to leak and it's not going to be a surprise. And I don't know how we pulled it off, but nobody knew. And we were able to get to the panel, and the fans just thought that it was a panel celebrating the 10th anniversary of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Little did they know that we had this huge announcement to drop. And by the end of the panel, when Dave Filoni announced it was coming back by playing this trailer, it was electric. There was well over 3,000 people in the room, I think. And the roof just practically blew off of the place. And I immediately burst into tears. Matt Lanter was jumping up and down, like fist pumping. I'm crying. We both hug. The fans are crying. It was by far one of the most special moments I've ever had, and I will never forget it.
I think you picked the perfect moment for that answer. That's great. I love that. Yeah, I wish I was there. That sounds so fun to be a part of.
I know that was before we were like.
I know it's hard to believe that there was a before.
There was a before, but hopefully it's got to happen again, and you can be there.
That's right. I'll be there for the next big announcement.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here is our next big announcement. We have more questions, so let's get to the next one.
Hi, my name is Cadence, and my question for Miss Ashley Eckstein is, which Star Wars character does she have a crush on and why?
Uh-oh, we're getting into TMZ territory here. The rumor mills are going to be flying, but please let us know, who is your Star Wars crush?
Well, first of all, Miss Cadence, I love that you said Miss Ashley, because I am from the South and I love your Southern accent. But I call, especially young girls, my nieces, I say, well, hello there, Miss Freya, or hello there, Miss Cadence.
You can call me Miss Bret too, if you want. I mean, I'm kind of feeling left out now. That's a really sweet sentiment. Anyway, okay, moving on.
Well, I have called you Mr. Bret before.
You're right. You have. You're right. I was forgetting.
And when I'm tired, my Southern accent comes out. Well, you can tell when I'm tired, then y'alls will start coming out. Like, hey, y'all. Okay, let's go to the next question. But okay, my Star Wars crush. So this is kind of the unpopular answer.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Greedo.
You know me better than that by now.
Okay, sorry.
You should know it's not Greedo.
Okay, please let us know then.
I thought you were legitimately going to get it right.
I mean, I probably could, but I'm going to let you answer.
So it's totally the unpopular answer, because I was a Luke girl. I know most girls were Han girls, but I was a Luke girl. I always had a crush on Luke, and I ended up, one of the reasons, I had such a crush on my now husband is, he kind of looks like Luke Skywalker a little bit.
He does like to wear a tunic, so I could see that. Yeah. Never really thought about it that way before, but you're right.
I know. Yeah. You're gonna see Luke Skywalker now every single time you see David.
I like that you chose Luke. I think that's very befitting. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
And actually, what people don't see is my mom is sitting behind the screen.
Oh,
so I guess
hi, Mom.
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, my mom's gonna be jealous now. Sorry, Fiona.
Hello. I know our moms are actually going to be best friends.
Yeah.
So
practically, virtually are. Yeah. Okay. We've got a lot more questions to go because we're taking our time with this because we're having too much fun, which is what we knew what would happen. So let's roll the next question.
Hi, Ashley. I was wondering which character relationship and dynamic in the Star Wars universe has meant the most to you or been the most interesting to you over the years, either between, like one character or a group of characters. Thanks.
That's a good question. I'm going to answer it for you. It's Mickey and Ahsoka. So anyway, next question.
That is true. This is the Disney team up that people didn't know that they needed.
That's right.
I feel like they know now.
Yes.
Okay.
But I think he probably meant within the Star Wars universe, not the greater Star Wars family. So.
Okay. Well, that is a great question. Thank you so much for your question. I have to say Anakin and Ahsoka. That bond between Anakin and Ahsoka. Honestly, if I think about it too much, it'll make me cry because it's so special. And I personally feel that Clone Wars is essential viewing when you're watching the Star Wars saga, because to understand Anakin's fall in episode 3, Ahsoka's a huge part of that. and understanding what happens in between episode 2 and episode 3, and Anakin taking on a Padawan, and Ahsoka walking away, and just that relationship. It's really special. Obviously it is like a brother-sister relationship, but it is family, and it is love. I mean, they love each other like family. And oh my gosh, I mean, when I'm able to separate, as a fan, not like some actors, and Bret, I know you know this, sometimes actors don't like to watch their work. I love Star Wars so much, I'm able to separate it, and I'm able to watch it as a fan. And I am crushed. I mean, when later on, the scenes with Anakin and Ahsoka walking away at the end of season 5, Ahsoka, oh gosh, sensing something, happening with Anakin in season 7. Ahsoka finding out that Anakin is now Darth Vader in Star Wars Rebels, and then the showdown between Anakin and Ahsoka, not Anakin, sorry, Vader and Ahsoka in Star Wars Rebels. It's just heartbreaking. And so, I mean, it crushes me. I literally cry every time. I cannot watch the season 5 finale of Star Wars: The Clone Wars and Ahsoka walking away without crying. So I would say that by far that's my favorite dynamic.
That's a great answer. But yeah, that's a tough question to answer as well, because I'm sure there's so many, because you mentioned several times you're a Star Wars fan. Your fandom doesn't just end at your involvement in it. So it's tricky to pick what dynamic is yeah, I think you answered it perfectly. I don't know where I'm going with that. I'm rambling as though we have time to kill, and we don't have time to kill. We need to get to the next question. I think we have 4 more questions to go. So here we go.
All right.
Soga, who's cuter, Baby Yoda or a porg?
Okay. I heard
BB-8 or a porg?
BB-8 or a porg? Ooh, that's a tough question.
This is a very divisive question.
Yes.
A lot of the country is in turmoil over this question. The fan community is over, All I say is choose wisely.
Can I phone a friend?
You can phone a friend, yes.
Okay, here, I'm going to ask Ahsoka. Okay. What? All right. I don't know if this is the right answer, but Ahsoka and I are choosing the porgs. Is that?
Porg is your answer? Final answer?
Porg is my final answer.
Are you sure about your final answer?
Yes. And you know what? I need to explain this a little bit.
Okay.
I do like BB-8. I love BB-8. But R2-D2 is my favorite Star Wars character ever. And I feel like if I chose BB-8, I would not be giving R2 the love that he deserves. And so I do love porgs. I have a plush porg. It's not on the bed with me right now, but I actually have a giant porg, like literally a giant porg. You've seen it.
I have seen it.
4 feet tall. And it sits in the lobby of her Universe office, and her name is Porgy Carter.
Porgy Carter.
Yes.
All right. Well, I just want to verify it's your final answer. Let's lock it in. We're locking in porg, and you're right. The answer is porg.
All right.
You win nothing.
Does Ahsoka ever get anything wrong?
No, never. Well, I mean, that's for another episode. Okay. On to the next question.
Hi, Ashley. So, my question is, other than Ahsoka, who is your favourite Star Wars character and why?
Oh. Well, first of all...
Is the answer porg?
What?
Is the answer a porg?
No. It is not a pork. And I'm loving the British accents tonight.
Oh, there's so much love coming from the UK.
I know. I'm sending all of my love back to the UK. So I kind of already answered it in the question before, but my favorite Star Wars character is R2-D2. I often refer to R2 as my hero because if you think about it, R2 is one of the greatest heroes of Star Wars. He's always there to save the day. So
that's really true.
Lock in R2-D2.
Lock in R2-D2. And nobody earlier asked me about my bucket list, but I'm going to overshare as I do and say that one of my bucket list items is I want to have my own little R2-D2 that roams around the house. You know, like we see at all these fan conventions. I love those clubs. How great would it be, Ashley, the next time we're at my house watching a Star Wars movie, if we had a little R2-D2 in the corner, just beep, boop, 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 boop. He can maybe like bring us some popcorn or some M&Ms. I'm going to work on it. James, could we work on getting the R2-D2? Okay, great. Yeah,
okay.
My people are on it.
Bret, it's happening. We're going to build an R2-D2 together.
We should build it together.
Yeah.
Stay tuned, everybody.
Okay, stay tuned.
Okay, let's see. I think we're getting down to our last few questions. Let's see what's next.
How special was it for you to be a part of Ahsoka's journey from beginning to end? And did you expect her to be as big as a fan favorite as she is?
Oh, goodness. Well, thank you so much for your questions. You know, being the voice of Ahsoka, and Bret, you know this, it's changed my life. It really has. It's changed my life for the better. You know, I had no idea how my life was going to change once I became the voice of Ahsoka. And I'm so grateful for it. I very quickly realized coming into the Star Wars universe what a privilege that was. And, you know, I've been a lifelong Star Wars fan, but until you're a part of the universe and you truly get to see how much Star Wars means to people all over the world, you don't quite understand it until you're in it and you're immersed in it. And once you see that, it changes you. And I felt instantly like I had a responsibility, like a weight on my shoulders, and I wanted to do right by it. Like, you know, to the point I ask myself often, what would Ahsoka do? Because I feel like Ahsoka would always do the right thing, but do the right thing for Star Wars fans. And, you know, she inspires me every day, not just, you know, what you know, it's done for, you know, me career wise, and, you know, getting the chance to voice this character for so long, but it's changed my goals and aspirations and how I think about things. And really, I mean, actually, I take this back from one of my earlier answers. I don't know how I forgot about this, but probably my favorite line of Ahsoka's is, you know, she says it in the final season of Clone Wars this past season, where Trace and Rafa asks Ahsoka, she says, "Why are you helping us?" And Ahsoka says, "In my life, when you find people who need your help, you help them no matter what. I guess it's just who I am." And Ahsoka has inspired me to do just that, to kind of live her message and help people. And I do. It's like I have a new mission in life, and it's really thanks to Ahsoka for inspiring me. So, wow, that was the first part of the question. I know there was a second part to the question. And
I should be a better host and be able to help you on that, but I don't because I got captivated by your answer.
Oh.
But I mean, I think there's plenty of gold in that answer there. So I think I don't think she's gonna be disappointed with your answer is what I'm saying.
Yes, well, thank you for the question. I apologize. I am forgetting the second half of the question, but yes, Star Wars has absolutely changed my life for the better, and I am so grateful for it, and so grateful to all of you. Thank you for what you've given me and my family, and all of the support from all over the world. I will continue to try to live up to kind of the privilege that it is to be a part of the Star Wars universe.
It's really amazing to realize the power and strength of a character like Ahsoka, or like so many other characters that we come across in entertainment. But what I love about Ahsoka is what I love about you. You know, you've really, like, you two are one and the same, and everything you just shared about the strength of Ahsoka, I could, as your friend, say I get from you. So I, you know, for what it's worth, know that what you have gained from Ahsoka, we have also gained from you, specifically myself, and watching you and how loving you are and caring and helpful. So,
well, thank you.
Mwah!
Thank you. And actually, I just remember the second part of the question.
Oh, okay, good. You can take over hosting.
No. Actually, you reminded me of it, because you said she was such a popular character, and that was the second part is, did I ever think Ahsoka would become such a fan favorite character? And I have to say no. I did not anticipate or think that Ahsoka would become what she is today. Did I dream that she would become a popular character? Of course. But the reality of what has happened has far surpassed even my dreams for this character. So I'm very, very grateful.
But that's true of the best dreams, right? They surprise us even when we try to anticipate what's in store. So I love that.
That's true.
Okay, well, can you believe it? We have come to the last and final question of our Q&A, of our Ask Ashley. I should have reversed that. Oh, big time on, that's her. Wait, oh, this way. Oh, that's her. This reverse thing is, I don't know how weather people do it.
I know.
Anyway, let's get rid of this hot air and bring on our next question.
Hi Ashley, my name is Casey. Ahsoka is such a huge role model for girls and women within the Star Wars fandom, so I was wondering if you could choose one thing that we take away from Ahsoka, what would it be and why? Love you!
Aww.
Oh, sweet. And one thing, do you think you can, I don't know that you can do that. This is going to be a really challenging question for you.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, there's been some heavy hitters tonight. And I really, really appreciate all of the Ahsoka love and just support. Thank you so much to everyone for submitting your questions. It means the world to me. So thank you, thank you. I think if I could pick one thing, and we've talked about several things throughout this panel, so I won't repeat what we've already talked about, and all of those things are equally as important. But to me, Ahsoka means hope. You know, for me growing up, Star Wars always equaled hope. Star Wars was a story of good overcoming evil. And whenever I wanted hope, I would turn to Star Wars. But as I started, doing Ahsoka, I realized Ahsoka represented hope to me. And there's actually a fortune cookie. It's a quote at the beginning of the final episode of season 5 of Star Wars: The Clone Wars. And the fortune cookie says, "Never give up hope, no matter how dark things seem." And I feel like that really captures Ahsoka. And I would, want to leave everyone with this message today. And I think during this time where this has been such a weird year, such a sad year, such a year of so much change and a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, a lot of good too. I don't want to overshadow that. But a lot of people are looking for hope. And Ahsoka, to me, represents light. I mean, in many ways, I almost think she represents the light side of the Force. But she just has so much light about her, and she's always looking towards the light, and she's always choosing hope. And so I hope, my hope is that everyone that is a fan of Ahsoka, everyone that's watching this panel, will remember that, and remember that no matter how dark things seem, to never lose hope. And because it's always there, we just have to choose to look for it. So, yeah. Sorry to get all deep.
I think that's what we wanted to hear. I mean, what better thing could we hear right now? That was awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, and she inspires me every day, continues to give me hope, and I hope she will continue to give everyone else hope. So, Bret, I think we've officially talked everyone's ears off.
I know. I mean, clearly mine have fallen off because that I forgot them. No, this was so much fun, Ashley. I mean, I know so much of this stuff about you already, but it's fun to revisit it. I loved hearing these questions from so many of your fans. It was my honor to be able to help host this fun journey of Q&A of Ask Ashley. Got it right, the first and last time of the show.
Well,
so yeah, I guess this is where we say goodbye, right?
I think so. Thank you for being a fantastic moderator, Bret. And also thank you everyone for tuning in and for all of your amazing questions. And Bret, I think there's only one way to say goodbye. I'll go first.
Okay.
Say, may the Force be with you.
And I'll say, see ya real soon.